Welcome back, everybody, to another KC Sports Report live stream. And we have a jam-packed show for y'all tonight. We're going to preview the Chiefs versus Ravens game on Monday Night Football, and we're going to give you our Week 3 predictions. I'll have some people coming on later in the show, but right now, let's get into this game. But before we get into it, everybody hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more of the best Chiefs content on YouTube. I would really appreciate that, and it really helps the channel grow. So if you enjoy these videos, hit that subscribe button. Let me know if everybody can hear me okay. I had some technical difficulties last minute, so if you guys can hear me, that's great. But as of right now, I think that we're going to wait for some people to get in here, and yeah, we'll get this thing rolling. So, let's see. Megan Johnson, what's up? Chiefs Royal Sporting. Good to see you too, Gary. Yeah, we got a very, very, very cool show tonight. We're going to have some people coming on later to give Week 3 predictions. But right now, I mean, let's just preview the game of the year. I think that the Chiefs taking on the Ravens on Monday Night Football is going to be a game that we are all going to love. I mean, two explosive offenses, a defense that is just stacked. And, you know, I think that it's going to be difficult for the Chiefs, but it's not impossible for them to pull off a win. I'll wait to see if I'm going to roll with them. You know, I think that this is a trap game for the Chiefs. Not trap game. I think this is going to be a tough game. You got a Baltimore Ravens team that just smoked everyone in their path. And then you got to basically deal with an offense that is just pretty unstoppable. I mean, you got the MVP in Lamar Jackson, a defense that has a very good secondary. Their weakness is stopping the run, but as of right now, I mean, the Chiefs did not look very good coming off of that win against the Chargers, so that kind of worries me. But some key losses in this game. Charvarius Ward's not going to play. As we all know, he fractured his hand. Bashaud Breeland's still out with the suspension. Sammy Watkins actually practiced today, which I thought that he wouldn't play this weekend, but since he practiced today, I mean, it's very possible that he does. Alex Okafor is still out with that hamstring injury, so it's not looking good for him. So I don't think that we're going to have three of those players. Sammy Watkins could come back, but the big piece returning is no doubt Mike Pennell. Big Mike Pennell is going to be a big difference maker in this game. I think that he was a player that was very key to stopping the run last year, and we needed somebody that could do that in week 2, and we didn't really have it. So I think that having him back is very important, and I really do think it will help stop the run. We have somebody backstage. I don't know who Isaiah Hines is. I left the link for anybody that wanted to pop in, maybe give their thoughts. I see Casey Kids in here, Brandon Rogers, Karan Ball Fortnite, FN2187. Yeah, I think that Mike Pennell is going to be a big difference maker in this game. I mean, you got a guy that is coming off of a suspension, just a 2-game suspension, but I think that he's going to play a big role in this game. So I'm going to bring on Casey Kidd. What's up, man?
What's up, Michael? What's going on, my man?
Not much. I'm just excited for this game. But to be honest with you, I'm really, really concerned.
Of course, I am too. You mentioned it. We didn't look very good against the Chargers at all on both sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball, we looked completely lost. But that's credit to the Chargers. The Chargers always seem to have our number, even with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. He's had one good game against them, and that was his very first game against them when there's no film or anything. But, yeah, I'm worried with that standpoint, but I'm also not worried because in the 2 games we've played against Baltimore, we've scored an average of, 30 points in both games, roughly. So yeah. I believe we're going to put up the points. And like you said, Mike Pennell coming back, that is a huge deal. That is a huge deal. It'll give Chris Jones some leeway, whether he can go outside now or get some plays off, whatever, to get some rest. But I think we're going to be okay. I digested this game this whole week. Initially, I picked Baltimore, but I switched the last second. Now I'm the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to win this game. But,
dude,
what's up?
This is the closest thing to like a 50-50 thing I think we can get all season.
It is, absolutely. And again, the two games we won last year against them, or the last 2 years, they're both at Arrowhead. So now we get to go on the road to Baltimore. Of course, no fans in the stands, so that's an advantage for the Chiefs there. You have to deal with the hostile crowd, but Lamar Jackson is really, really good. That the whole Baltimore team is really, really good. I don't see many holes on that team other than maybe the actual wide receiver position outside of Hollywood Brown. I mean,
Dude,
Willie Snead is a decent receiver, but he don't scare me. He don't scare me as much as Hollywood Brown does. It's Mark Andrews and the tight end group that makes that offense go.
well, and we're going to have Tyron probably take on Andrews, but I mean, we're really low on the secondary depth. It's basically Snead and pretty much everybody else. I think that we got Fenton, but I don't know if we have enough to stop them with our secondary. Not right now. I think you got to make them.
No, I mean, Baltimore's going to get their points. We're going to have to win this game in a shootout, just like the first 2 times we played them. We're going to have to outscore them. The team. The way I feel about this game is the team that has the ball last is going to win the game. Just like the Patriots game a couple years ago when we went to Foxborough and the last team to touch the ball won the game. I have a feeling it's going to be something like that.
Well, here's my thing. I know that we're good at coming from behind, but dude, you can't get behind in this game. Not by 2 scores. If that happens, they're just going to have Lamar Jackson run it down our throats. They'll give it to Ingram. At that point, I mean, they'll take up 10 minutes in a quarter. I mean, they will just run the ball down our throats, giving us no time left, and we can't win like that.
The thing is, Ingram hadn't been the workhorse back. It's been J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins has been the workhorse back. So, I mean, like I said, Baltimore's got the weapons. If we can get ahead, then Baltimore's in trouble because they can't play from behind. They've shown they can't play from behind. If we can get out to a double-digit lead, take control of this game, then Baltimore is going to be playing off the back foot, trying to catch up, and that's where we'll beat them. Yes, the last 7-8 games, I mentioned this throughout the week, we have started slow each and every single time. We got to fix that. I don't know if it's the pregame script that we're screwing up, fundamentals, or what, but we got to learn to stop teams initially and move the ball offensively when we have it.
Yeah. Somebody asked, is Snead good? Dude, he's very good. Like, I've been very surprised with how good he's been, and we're gonna need him to be good because I don't think that Lamar Jackson's gonna throw it a ton, but I mean, the last thing that I want him to do is beat us over the middle. I mean, with all the weapons that he has and his legs being the best, I mean, if he has to beat us with his arm, it's not gonna happen, and that's why I think it's gonna be a really high scoring game. I think it's going to be like late 20s to like late 30s. I'm expecting a lot of points.
Go ahead. To back off a comment somewhere down here in the chat, FN2187 says Free Willie. Yes. Can we please play Willie Gay? Give him some snaps, please. I am sick of Ben Neiman. I'm sick of Anthony Hitchens. Put Willie Gay in the damn game, please.
I don't know why they're not playing him, dude. I really have no idea.
He made one of the biggest plays in that Charger game last week when he blocked one of the punts. Give him a chance. What's it going to hurt you? We have the second most missed tackles in the league right now, behind the Jets. We have like 40 missed tackles. Put Willie Gay in the damn game.
It literally will not hurt us. Like, Ben Neiman, dude, I like Ben Neiman as a backup, but dude, he misses so many tackles.
He can't tackle worth a lick at all.
Yeah. But, dude, I think that the Chiefs can contain Lamar Jackson, but like as you said, they're going to get points. It's just, can we outscore them? I think we can.
No, they're going to get their points. They're going to get them. We're going to get ours. It's who makes the right stop, who makes the stops at the key points in the game. That's going to determine it.
And for whatever reason, I mean, the Chiefs defense will make stops when they need to. I mean, we saw it last week. We've seen it in the playoffs. I mean,
and believe it or not, even after all that hassle we went through last week, the defense only gave up 6 points in the second half. They gave up they gave up a ton of yards, but they only gave up 6 points in that whole second half plus overtime.
Let's see. Gary Holland asks, the defense needs to do a better job of tackling and the team cut down on the penalties. Darcy, your opinion. Dude, the penalties almost killed us last week. Like,
and that's the thing. Week 1, we only had one penalty. We had one penalty in week 1. Last week, completely different story. What the fuck happened?
Dude, it was offense, defense. I mean, we just couldn't play a clean game. And if we would have lost, I think that penalties would have been a major part. What is Karan Ball for Night saying?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, defensive key to the game is get stops, but I think you gotta have the ability to put pressure on Jackson. But it's he's like not like Lamar Jackson. He's like Deshaun Watson in a way that you gotta like keep him in the pocket, but make sure the pocket collapses.
Exactly. Do not let him get outside. We're screwed if he gets outside. Period. Make him beat us with his arm.
Yeah. For the guy that's trying to get in here, you're not connected to your mic, and so it won't let me put you in. Also, not sure who you are, but I'm down with having you in if you can connect. But anyway, so I think that if the defense can stop the run, the offense has got to do something, man, because like they've been coming out flat, as we've said. I wonder if it's an issue with game plan. Like, I think that they're pretty conservative. I mean, we know Andy Reid can literally just say, hey, Mahomes, go out there and torch a defense, and he can. But I think that we're like trying to slow it down, which is not really how
we're trying to establish a run game, and it's like, okay, I get it, but come on. You got the best quarterback in the league. Let him do his thing. It's just like I mean, I don't know. I mean, I love Elaire, I really do, but use him in the passing game. Why not? Just throw a little out pattern to Elaire if you want to get him involved. Mix in a run or two here and there, and we'll see what happens. But is Mitchell Schwartz showing his age? No.
Absolutely. I think he is.
Maybe, but for being the best right tackle in the league last year, I think not having a preseason and not having a camp is affecting him right now. I really do. But he's allowed 2 sacks. I think you'll see a motivated Mitchell Schwartz in this game.
Oh, I'm not concerned. I think that he did show his age a little bit, though, because, like, dude, was it Joey Bosa who was flaming him all game?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But, the Ravens also don't have a very good pass rush.
Yes, that's the one spot that they don't have. Their front four is pretty weak. Really is.
Matthew Judon's pretty good, but I don't think that – I think the Chiefs' offensive line can bounce back and take care of that. But
sure.
What do you think the final score is going to be? I mean, this game has a lot of hype building up around it. I think it's going to be the best game of the year. What do you think the matchup and the score will be?
I got the Chiefs winning 34-30. 34-30.
This is a tough game, and I think I predicted this in a previous stream. I don't think the Chiefs are going to win this game. I think it's going to be close, but I just think that this is one of those games that you drop. It's not bad. It's not going to hurt the Chiefs long term, but this is a game where you got a young Chiefs team with a lot of injuries going to Baltimore. I mean, it's going to be tough. Like, I genuinely think it might be a 3-point game, but at the same time, I'm not encouraged by what I've seen from this offense in the past 2 weeks, and I think that the defense isn't quite gelled yet.
No, I don't either. And a funny comment here, FN2187, we have a kicker, though. Yeah, we do, but you realize who Baltimore's kicker is, too?
Yeah. 2 best kickers in the game, in my opinion.
I mean, not even close.
Not even close. So good.
It is not even close. But anyway, Michael, I got to go. Just wanted to stop in real quick and give my take on it, and I hope you have a good stream, my man.
All right, sounds good, man. Hope to see you next week.
You bet you. Later.
All right, so let me address this. Why don't you believe in the Chiefs? Forget you for that. No, here's the thing. I believe in the Chiefs. It's just, dude, we're not going 16-0. We're going to drop a game, and if we're going to drop a game, it's going to be to the best team in the league. I think that right now Baltimore has looked better through the first 2 weeks, and there is no shame in losing this game. I mean, if you get blown out, we're going to have a problem, but right now, I think that I'm not too confident going into this game. Again, I could be wrong. That's why we play the games, but as of right now, I just do not think that we're going to go in there and win. It's going to be close. I think it's going to come down to, as Casey Kidd said, the last man that has the ball is going to win the game. And I could be completely wrong. Like I said, I'd be happy to eat my words. I would love that because guess what? That means the Chiefs are 3-0. But this is a game that I predicted before the season, not going the Chiefs' way. So I think that right now it's going to be a 50-50 game, but I think the Ravens just have a little bit more. What's up, Chris Senor? I see you over in LA streams a ton. Ask your questions now. I'll try to get to all of them. That's why we have these streams. But yeah, I think that I'm not doubting the Chiefs. I just think that it's going to be a game between two very good teams, and whichever team has the ball last is going to win. And I think that, I mean, I get it, even though that the Chiefs are not at home, they're on the road in Baltimore. It's still going to be a very tough game. I mean, I think that, Baltimore, even though I don't think they are going to have fans, or they might have fans, I'm not quite sure. It is an advantage to play at home. So I think that because they're in Baltimore coming off a not very good week against the Chargers, it's going to be tough. But let me know what you guys think. I could be completely wrong, but I think for this game, I gotta pick Baltimore, dude. It's going to come down to a very close game, but right now I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to win. And I'm the most pro Chiefs guy you're going to hear. Like, I'll pick them over anything. I'm not rooting for the Ravens, but I think that the Chiefs are going to have their pretty good matchup against the Ravens. Will Clyde Edwards-Helaire have a big game in the passing game this week? He has to. You can't run the ball against this Ravens team. Actually, you can because they have a pretty weak run defense, but I think that you got to score as quickly and as often as possible. And right now, I think that you just throw him, you throw it to him in the slot or slant in the backfield and just have him pick up those yards, get the first downs, move the chains, and just score quickly. I don't want to see a lot of I don't want to see a lot of carries for Clyde. I know that he's good, but at the end of the day, we didn't bring him in to make this offense run-oriented. We brought him in to be a complementary piece to Patrick Mahomes. And there's no point in giving Clyde 30 carries when we already have Mahomes who can win the game with his arm. I mean, this is Mahomes' offense. It's always been Mahomes' offense, and it will continue to be Mahomes' offense. Linebackers got to be better, of course. I think that, dude, our linebackers got pretty banged up last week. The Chargers put some bruises on our linebackers for sure. I think Damian Wilson got knocked out cold. Anthony Hitchens got up after a play. He was kind of feeling some pain. I just read that comment. Chiefs will win 44-16. It's going to be closer than that. If that happens, oh my gosh, this team is not going to lose a game. If we beat the Ravens at home by that score, we're not going to lose a game. It's just not going to happen. Let's see. You can't let the Ravens run all over you guys like the Chargers did last week, 183 yards total rushing against the Chiefs in week 2. Yeah, I completely agree with you because Lamar Jackson is a guy that can beat teams with his legs, has beat teams with his legs, and cannot continue to do that against the Chiefs. In the first 2 matchups, Mahomes and the offense have been able to outscore him, and the defense has been able to do just enough to contain him. But I can't see that happening in this game. They're going to try to do their best. I think that he's not going to absolutely explode like he did against the Texans, but he's going to get his yards. He's going to get his touches, and I think that he's going to give the Chiefs defense some headaches. I don't think they go and play defense like the Chargers did against us, and we are going to screen them to death with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I hope you're right. I think that that's going to be a pretty big part of the game. Just throw slants to Clyde and have him pick up those yards. Thoughts on Thornhill? I saw something earlier that you said he was kind of feeling it, like injured. I don't know if that's true. They're just trying to make sure that he's I think he's actually, no, he's on a snap count, I believe. So he's not really playing every snap. So, I mean, it's early. He's coming off of a torn ACL. I'd say give him some time. Just give him some time to get healthy again. And he's still, in my opinion, one of the best young safeties in the game. So I'm very confident that he'll figure it out again this year. It's just going to take him longer. And that's another reason why I'm not picking the Chiefs. I don't think that right now this defense is even close to gelling. I think that that's going to start to happen around week 9, 10, 11. And when that happens, I mean, this defense is going to be top 10. I've said it from the beginning. At the end of the season, when everybody comes back healthy, when this defense is gelled together, they will be a top 10 unit. I'm just very confident in that. I believe that they will be a top 10 defense, and I'm going to stick to it. The Ravens are way more physical than us on defense. That's a horrible part of playing the Chargers and Ravens back-to-back. You play a defense that applies pressure than a physical one next week. Yeah, the Ravens are physical in the secondary. Your run defense is for sure better, but I said it before. I don't want the Chiefs to run the ball. I think that you let Mahomes pick apart that secondary like he's already done in countless times. I mean, it's not obvious that it is obvious that Mahomes has an arm, and it's obvious that he can pick apart secondaries. So I think that just let him throw the ball, throw it to Watkins, who I see Gary Holland asks, is he playing Monday? I think he's playing Monday, or he's playing Monday because he was in practice today. So I assume that that's going to happen. But I think that this offense is the best when Mahomes can throw down the field to connect with his receivers. Let Travis Kelce get a ton of catches because, dude, he is going to cause some major problems for those defensive backs. I mean, who's going to cover him? I think they got Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters. They cannot hang with Kelce. It's just not going to happen. So I think that you put Kelce downfield, get him open. I mean, Tyreek Hill is going to be screaming down the field. Mecole in the slot. I think that this Chiefs team just has so many offensive weapons that it's going to be very tough for Baltimore to stop. So on the other hand, the Chiefs are just going to have to do their best to stop them on defense. And I think that is where this game is going to be won. Chiefs just need to slow Jackson down. Yeah, that's all they got to do. How much of an impact do you think Mike Pennell will make? I really think that he's going to be a big game changer. I mean, we saw it all of last year. When he was in the game, opposing teams were not able to run the ball as successfully. So put him in there. I think that he will close up those gaps, make sure that Lamar Jackson has no lanes to run. And I think it's going to be a big game changer having our best run stopper in the game. But hopefully he's able to come back and be productive. Like we said, he was suspended for the first 2 games, so he might not be up to game strength yet. But I think that he will play in this game. Well, he will play in this game, and hopefully he can play more often than not. How good was that throw to Hill and 2-point conversion to Hardman? Dude, that throw to Tyreek Hill has got to be a top 30 Mahomes throw. I mean, that sounds ridiculous to say because he's got 30 throws better than that, but that throw was just incredible. I mean, there's nothing else to say. It was an incredible throw. Great catch by Tyreek Hill to catch it and roll into the end zone. And then Mecole Hardman had no business catching that ball. I think that ball was really not put in the best spot, and Mecole Hardman, being the playmaker that he is, was able to make a play on it. I would assume Tyreek Hill will have a big day if the Chiefs pass the ball more than run. You know, Chris Senor, it's hard to tell because they are very good at taking away your best weapon. So if it's not Tyreek Hill, it's going to be Sammy Watkins if he plays. It's going to be Demarcus Robinson. It's going to be Clyde. It's going to be Mecole Hardman. I mean, it's going to have an impact on the Ravens secondary depending on who they can stop because they're going to have to pick which weapon to stop. If they decide to go all in on making sure Tyreek Hill doesn't beat him over the top, Tyreek Hill will not have a great game. But if they commit to Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce will get all the catches, or Sammy Watkins will be wide open, or they won't have anybody on Clyde. So at the end of the day, I think that the Chiefs have more offensive weapons, but the Ravens defense is looking better. So, I mean, the matchups in this game, it's unreal. I mean, you got a defense in Baltimore that is top 10, an offense that's very good with the MVP Lamar Jackson. And on the Chiefs side of the ball, you got the best offense in the league and a defense led by Tyrann Mathieu, Chris Jones, Frank Clark, and some other injured players. So it's a very interesting game with a lot of different storylines, but this is going to be one hell of a Monday Night Football game. I'll tell you that. We just need to go 5 wide 90% of the time and air it out. You know, I think that we need to make sure that Lamar Jackson doesn't get a lot of time, because we've seen it with a ground and pound offense. They get the ball and they'll take 7 to 8 minutes on one single drive, and that's half a quarter. So you need to make sure that you can score, but take up some time on the clock. We saw it in week 1. March down the field, but do it productively and don't get to too many 3rd and longs, because, I mean, if we get in a ton of 3rd and longs with that Ravens secondary, I still think Mahomes can do it because I have 100% faith in Mahomes, but there's no point in putting us in uncomfortable and more difficult situations. Darcy, do you think Andy Reid will have some trick plays for Monday night? Definitely would not surprise me. I mean, Andy Reid, player in the game, Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the game. So when you got those two on the same team, nothing is going to be easy. I think that we're going to see a lot of jet sweeps, probably a lot of throws to Clyde in the flat. I think that they'll probably do something. They'll draw something up for goal lines, because I've noticed that Clyde's not the best goal line runner. I don't know if that's because he's smaller and it's just harder for him to find those holes, but I think that they'll have something worked up for this game. I'm not quite sure what it would be, but they're going to make the Ravens defense work for sure. To throw to Hill was so stupid. He took off his helmet. He did. I'm surprised he didn't get penalized for that, but it was a big reason why we were able to convert that 2-point conversion. Shout out to my peeps who enjoying broccoli. Interesting. One thing about us, we're battle tested. You can't say that about the Ravens. They're used to always being in the league. You have to take that into account as well. You know, I don't think that we've gelled yet. I think that our offense is still going to get better. The defense is also going to get better. So I think that right now, I mean, we have chemistry, but I don't think that we're playing to our fullest capabilities. Not at the moment. So I would say that right now, both teams are very equal. And I want to make that clear. The reason I'm picking Baltimore is because they're at home and they have that advantage, and they've just looked better the past 2 weeks. But again, I want the Chiefs to win this game. I'm going to be rooting for the Chiefs, but I'm being realistic here, and I think that the Ravens are going to give the Chiefs pretty much everything and all they can handle. Ever since the 2018 AFC Championship, the offense hasn't been the same. I wouldn't say that. I think that we've been more productive. I mean, we've been taking up more time on the clock, because that's what you don't understand. In 2018, with Patrick Mahomes being a rookie and a gunslinger, they would just say, hey, throw the ball downfield. Let's score a touchdown in 50 seconds. The Chiefs' offense got a lot smarter, and they got a lot more efficient. I think efficient is the perfect word to use. So I'm not concerned, and I think that the offense will get better, but right now they're not playing to their fullest capabilities. The Chiefs need to get off to a fast start. Yeah, they do. That's been a big problem recently. They've been getting behind. We haven't led in a game to start off with since last year. We got behind to the Texans. We got behind to the Chargers. That has to end in this game. Like I said in the beginning of the episode, or the beginning of the stream, the Ravens offense is better and the best offense that we will face this year. If the Chiefs defense can rise to the occasion and get a few key stops, we'll win this game. But I don't know if the defense can do that. And Baltimore wants this game just as badly as we do. They've been embarrassed by Mahomes the past 2 years. Mahomes is 2-0 against Lamar Jackson and this Ravens team. But this Ravens team is much improved. I saw somebody said it earlier. They got Calais Campbell. And I think that it's definitely going to be more difficult than anything that we face this year. Hey, what's up, LA? I saw your stream earlier today that you're kind of cutting back on YouTube. That's a good idea. But as for me, I'm going to continue to put out 2 to 3 videos a week and stream every Friday night. We're going to have streams every Friday night to preview the upcoming game and give you predictions. Thanks so much, Carlos, for the donation. Do you want to ask a question? I appreciate it. Darcy, the defensive line has to have an excellent game. They do. I think that make Lamar Jackson as uncomfortable as possible. Get to him, hit him hard, and make sure that he's anxious. I mean, if he's anxious, it's going to make it so the offense is not going to run as smoothly. Since I talk a lot of trash sometimes, it's fine, man. I understand. But thanks for the donation. If you guys want to support the channel, just like Carlos, you can support it through the super chat. I really appreciate it, and it helps fund this content. We're going to have merch coming out soon. I'm still trying to finalize that. I've been saying that for a while, but finalizing that. Videos, like I said, at least twice a week. So I think that right now we're full steam ahead on this channel and ready to talk some more football. Let's see. D-Rob is not the best receiver, and he is the 5th option or 4th or 5th option on this team for a reason. But I think that he makes a lot of I mean, I wouldn't even say that he has no hands because, in fact, last year against the Ravens, I think he made the best catch I've ever seen. It was a one-hand grab in the end zone to put the Chiefs, I don't know if it was ahead, but give them 7 more points. So, I mean, he's got hands, but I think that the fact that there was no preseason or no OTAs, it leads to a lack of communication. I mean, we saw it in week 1. Mahomes didn't even no, it wasn't Mahomes. Sammy didn't even run the correct route. So mistakes are going to happen, and we're still kind of getting used to it, but this is fun football to watch because it is a more unpolished football brand that we haven't seen, but I think that that's going to lead to a lot more close games and more exciting football to watch. Are we the horse that always needs the fight? I don't know what that means, but I think that this game is going to come down to a field goal or less. I mean, that's how good these teams are, but I don't know why they scheduled this game for week 3. I wish this was like a week 7 to week 8 matchup because, in my opinion, the winner of this game takes home field advantage. So there are high stakes, but, just like the Chiefs, the Ravens are going to fall at some point this year too. I fully expect that. No team's going to go 16-0, but the reason why this game is so important is because the Chiefs, if they did lose, they would not get the tiebreaker against the Ravens. So that would basically mean that the Ravens would have to lose 2 times and the Chiefs could only lose once. Or, I mean, if the Ravens lose 4 times and we lose 3, we'll be fine. But if the Ravens lose the same amount of games, they will get the 1 seed because they had the tiebreaker. And this is basically the battle for the 1 seed because there is no 2 seed. We need the first round bye. So this game is going to be really important and really fun to watch. So, yeah, it's going to be so fun. I haven't seen a football game like this probably since the Rams game in 2018. I legitimately think it's going to be that good. Let's see. I do think they need to start Mecole over Robinson. Oh, Carlos, 100%. 100%. Mecole is much better. I mean, light years better. He can use his speed. I think he just has flat out better hands. So yeah, I agree. Have Mecole start over Robinson. I don't think Lamar good at pressure games, and to be honest, I feel like this is a pressure game for him. I could be wrong. Well, it is a pressure game. I mean, I think both teams are aware that this game could decide the playoff fates, and we're only in week 3. So it definitely is going to be a very tough game, but at the same time, both teams have pressure. It's not just the Chiefs. So I think that this is really the closest thing to a 50-50 matchup we're going to see. But both teams have pressure on them, no doubt. Will Mike Pennell make a difference in the Chiefs' run defense? 100%. 100%. I mean, he's just a big body that plugs up the holes and stops the run. And against Lamar Jackson and an offense that just loves to run the ball down people's throats, I mean, to have him come back at this time is crucial. So I'm glad that he's coming back this week, and hopefully he can just stay in shape and be ready to play. Ooh, if Lamar loses bad, Lamar Jackson has something to prove. I mean, you know how often he's gotten compared to Mahomes' little brother. He's not as good as Mahomes. He's not this, he's not that. I mean, he hears it all. He's a competitive guy. So having two competitive guys go off against each other, the Mahomes-Lamar rivalry is going to be one of the best for the next 5 to 10 years. I don't know if Lamar can hold on that long, but if he can stay healthy, this is going to be a matchup that we see every year. It's going to be Mahomes and Deshaun and Mahomes and Lamar. So I am very excited to see this matchup for a long time, but this is going to be one of the best because you got two of the best teams going off against each other. And as we've said earlier, I think that the final team with possession is going to win this game. But what's up, Andy Rod? I want to say thank you to everybody for coming by. I like having 20 to 30 people in here at once. I think that we can get that number even higher. Again, if you want to support the channel, super chat down below. I'd appreciate it. Thanks again, Carlos. But also leave your questions down below because I want to know what you guys think. I know I got a little bit of criticism for saying that the Chiefs aren't going to win this game, but I'm all for being proved wrong. I would love to get proved wrong because that means that the Chiefs would have won this game. But it's a matchup that is just going to be tough for both teams. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. What's up, Andy Rod? Yes, do it, FN2187 said. Hit that like button. It's weird because YouTube's algorithm basically makes it so that not everybody can see this stream. So if you guys hit that like button, I think the notification goes out to more people. So yeah, hit that like button as FN2187 said. But yeah, how are you guys feeling about this game? I've kind of just talked for 38 minutes straight, but let me know what you guys think. Do you think that it's going to be a close game? Do you have the Chiefs winning? Do you have the Chiefs losing? I mean, what do you think? If we lose with Lamar throwing the ball, I can live with that. Anything other than that is unacceptable. Actually, Nicholas, it's the opposite for me. I think that if we lose to Lamar throwing the ball, it is a severe disappointment because if we can stop Lamar on the ground, I'll be happy. But if he beats us with his arm, oh my gosh, we don't even deserve to win. Lamar Jackson is not a good NFL quarterback. He's just not. He overthrows his receivers. I've heard people compare his arm to a high school quarterback. So I don't think that he should come anywhere near beating us with his arm. I just cannot see that likely. But yeah, so I'm going to actually have Chiefs Palace on. If you didn't know, he has a a Chiefs page. You can follow him on Instagram at Chiefs Palace, but we're going to give you our predictions for this week 3. It's going to be very interesting. We've got a lot of cool matchups, and obviously the matchup of the week is definitely going to be that Monday night game between the Chiefs and the Ravens. I just want you to boost my confidence. I am confident in this Chiefs team. I think that they're going to not get blown out. I'm confident that they'll make it a close game. But at the end of the day, I think that it's going to come down to the last possession, as I've said before, and Lamar with that defense is probably going to get the last possession. So I'm very confident in this team. I'm confident in Mahomes, but I don't think I'm going to pick them. We'll see. Because if anybody gets hurt in practice, if Sammy comes back, if we get Travarius Ward back, I will feel more confident. But we're just rattled with injuries, man. We just have a lot of injuries, a lot of guys banged up, and that is going to affect this defense. Yeah, I agree. Our linebackers aren't great, which is why I'm kind of disappointed that Willie Gay's not playing, but yeah, we're going to improve. It'll only take time. I mean, the missed tackles, that's just an example of no preseason. I mean, basically, we saw a lot of injuries in week 2, and the missed tackles, it's basically a byproduct of no preseason. I mean, that's something that you can kind of correct through training camp and the preseason. And we had a very short training camp this year and no preseason whatsoever. So I think that that's all going to get corrected over time. If Lamar goes crazy, I can live with that L. Yeah, I can too. I mean, like I said, dude, I can live with this L regardless. I mean, these are the 2 best teams in the NFL, and they're going up against each other. It's going to be a hard-fought matchup, but guess what? If I'm going to pick a game to lose to, it's going to be the Ravens. And, this is really the only game that I think the Chiefs have a chance at losing, or a very good chance of losing, just because you got the 2 best teams. But I'm not saying that this Chiefs team is going to get blown out or they have no shot, but it's going to come down to the wire. And I think that this defense, with the inexperience and the injuries that we have, it's going to come back to hurt us. So I hope I'm wrong. Again, I've said it again, or I'll say it again. I hope I'm wrong. I would very much love to be stand corrected, but yeah, I think that Baltimore is going to give us everything that they got, and who knows if this defense can handle it. We need Frank Clark to show up. Yeah, we do. We need Frank Clark to show up. He left week 2 actually being dehydrated. So hopefully he can stay high. I mean, that's a very common problem, but usually you don't miss the whole game. They'll put an IV in you and then you just come back. But he must have been really, really feeling it. Sammy Watkins practiced today. Also, he was limited, but he practiced. I think he's going to play. I agree, Nicholas. I don't think that they would practice, or they would make him practice if he didn't feel confident he was going to play. I thought he had a concussion. I think that late hit by the Chargers defense definitely made him a little bit shaken up, but apparently they said it was something to do with his neck, which is not good, and especially not to Sammy Watkins, because Sammy Watkins, I mean, God love him, he can't get a break. I mean, it's just, he'll find a way to get injured every year, and just keep him healthy for the playoffs, because that's really where he just goes off. Thoughts on Dana? I like him. I think that sack on Justin Herbert was very productive. It put the Chargers back quite a ways. I think that for a 5th-round draft pick, which is what he was, it's a good pick. And he's already shown that he can produce at the NFL level. But when guys like Alex Okafor come back, who knows if he's going to get any playing time. So he is definitely taking this playing time as a good opportunity to prove himself, which I think is very important for a rookie of his caliber. If the Chiefs win, do you think we can go undefeated? We definitely can go undefeated, but in my opinion, the Chiefs won't. I mean, just like we saw last year, they'll lose a game that they shouldn't. Like they'll drop one to like the Bills, or I really hope it's not the Jets, but they'll lose a very like interesting game. They will lose a game that they probably shouldn't have lost, but maybe it's because of injuries, maybe because they weren't prepared. Who knows? But I expect the Chiefs to drop one or two games this year, and it's not going to harm them long term. But I really think that they are going to lose a couple games this year. How do you think the O-line played? Or how do you think the O-line will do considering we didn't have Fisher last time we played? I think we did have Fisher last week. Last I checked, I think he played. I could be wrong. I could be mixing it up, but I think he played on Sunday. The Chiefs defense needs to play to its full potential versus Baltimore. Yeah, I agree, and that's why I don't have them winning. The Chiefs defense is not going to be at full potential come week 3. I mean, it's just way too early in the year. And like I've said, I mean, the injuries are going to be a problem. I mean, Baltimore, on the other hand, is actually mostly healthy, and the Chiefs aren't. I mean, luckily the Chiefs haven't had any like major injuries, but these players are going to miss time. So I don't think that the defense is going to be anywhere close to full potential in week 3. Do we need that bye? Oh, I think we do. I think we definitely do. I don't think that we need it to win, but I would really like it. And I think that the team that gets the bye is going to have the best chance. But more importantly, I just want to have another shot at Arrowhead Stadium for the AFC Championship game. Because by that time, God willing, we will have a vaccine and we'll have 70,000 fans in Arrowhead just losing their minds, rooting on this Chiefs team. And hopefully the Chiefs can go back to the Super Bowl after a very good season last year, because that's the goal. And I think that they got all the talent and potential to run it back. I don't think that we'll lose any games we shouldn't. That was in the Smith era. We'll lose a game this year. I think that right now, this is the best chance for them to lose this game. But I mean, we saw last year, they're going to drop a few in the like mid-season when they're kind of banged up a little bit. So don't expect an undefeated season. Don't expect it, but if it happens, I mean, that's crazy. But at the same time, I don't think I want an undefeated season because we saw how that worked out with the Patriots. They didn't win the championship. So I would rather them lose a game or two to kind of just learn from their mistakes. But yeah, I don't want them to go undefeated. What's up, Cole? Yeah, that's what I thought. Fish did play last week. Oh, last year against Baltimore. Okay. Okay, I didn't know that. That was a long time ago. Oh, yeah, you're right. He had surgery. Okay. What are the mismatches for the Chiefs offense? Do you mean like mismatches for the corners, like the defense? I would say on defense it would probably be like mismatch would be like D-Rob. That sounded really weird. D-Rob on Marcus Peters or Marlon Humphrey covering like Mecole Hardman. I mean, it's not the Chiefs are not going to get a mismatch on a big receiver. Travis Kelce, no one can cover him. Tyreek Hill is better than anyone they have in that secondary. So I would say that the only mismatch comes further down the Chiefs' receiving depth. Like mismatches are going to come from the Chiefs' third and fourth string receivers, which is crazy to say, but I mean, that's just how stacked this Chiefs team is. Do you think that we get out to a lead and keep it away from Lamar, considering his lack of ability to play from behind? I hope so, Jason, because if we can't get a lead, I don't want to play Lamar when we're behind, because Lamar is a guy that runs the ball, he'll get ahead of you, and then he will just pile on points. And we cannot have that happen. I mean, the Chiefs defense at this point, like I've said in this video a ton of times, they're not gelled yet. They're not 100% ready. So I think you got to get a lead and make Lamar come from behind, because make the Ravens play our game, and don't make them play. Hold on, I'm gonna try to rephrase it again. Make the Ravens play our game, and don't let the Ravens try. Man, this is very hard to say. Don't make the Ravens make us play their game. There we go. Can I get a round of applause for finally speaking sentence? Oh my gosh, I'm a mess. I don't want an undefeated season either. Yeah, I don't either. We need to play Hill mostly out of the slot. Yeah, I would say so. Or Mecole in the slot. Thoughts on IDL, Noddy, and Saunders? Noddy's good, very good at stopping the run. Saunders is actually hurt. He goes down with a dislocated elbow, so he's not playing, but Noddy's going to be good, and he's going to be very pivotal in stopping the run. I am not. I just cannot speak for whatever reason. I have no idea. That's a very tough sentence to say. How many passing TDs for Mahomes? I'm going to say, this is tough, because I think that this game's going to be high scoring, but I think that Clyde could have a few touchdowns, but I'm going to say 4 TDs for Mahomes and 350 plus yards. I think that this is going to be the best game that he plays so far this season, and he's got to play very well if we want to win this game. I don't want to say that we're completely reliant on Mahomes, but I mean, he's a big part of this team. I mean, no doubt. So we need him to kind of perform to the best of his abilities. But we saw it in that Chargers game. Mahomes just looked frustrated in the first half, and he just did not look like the Mahomes that we've seen. And maybe that's a credit to the Chargers and how good that defense is, but it was very clear to me that Mahomes was not playing at the highest level. I mean, we've seen Mahomes do a lot of crazy things, and it was pretty evident that he didn't have any answers for what the Chargers was throwing at him, or were throwing at them. Our starting front 4 needs to be TK, Jones, Mike, Frank, then rotate everybody else in. Let's see. Yeah, I would say so. Taco Charlton got a few snaps last week. He actually got called for a penalty, which probably is the reason why he didn't get a ton of more snaps. But I think Taco is going to be good at some point this year. But right now, I would agree. I think that's our front 4. What's the worst case scenario for the Chiefs this Monday? Worst case scenario is they get behind and are never able to come back. Well, I guess the worst case scenario would get being blown out, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the Ravens can blow us out like that, but it's going to be a interesting game, and I think that the worst case scenario would be a blowout, but more realistically, it would just be getting behind in a big hole that they can't come back from. Would you rather have DOD, which I assume is Dorian O'Daniel, or Neiman to cover the middle of the linebacking core for this game specifically? Jason, I'm going to say neither. I want to see Willie Gay. I know that I'm a big time Willie Gay guy. I've been very, very outspoken with how much I think he is capable of, and I think that he right now is the best option for this linebacker core. And why he's not starting, I don't understand it. I really don't. And I think that that's got to change. Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Why is Spags not playing Willie Gay? I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. I think that maybe it's because he doesn't feel like he's ready yet. He is a rookie, hasn't really had much of an offseason to get acclimated to this defense. But yeah, I'm very surprised. I would have thought that by now they would just throw him out there because he's better than Ben Neiman. I mean, I like Ben Neiman as a backup, but I mean, Willie Gay has just so much talent and so much raw athleticism that it would really benefit the Chiefs to put him in. I really don't know what they're waiting for. Charlton looked very solid coming off that edge. Indeed, he did. Dorian O'Daniel better with covering running backs in coverage. He is, and I think that maybe you put Dorian O'Daniel in instead of Ben Neiman. I think that if you put Dorian O'Daniel in at any time, this would be the best game to do it. I mean, you got to counteract this Baltimore team with more speed because, I mean, we've seen it last year. If we want to stop Lamar Jackson or contain Lamar Jackson, you got to throw speed at him. You got to have DBs that can get to the quarterback, apply the pressure, and in the secondary can cover the receivers and plug up the holes to stop the run. I want to make Lamar Jackson as uncomfortable as possible. I say you have a lot of blitz packages, have Tyrann Mathieu get to the quarterback on a few special drawn up blitz packages and just make his life a living hell. Make it as uncomfortable as possible. And if the Chiefs can do that, they're going to have a very good shot at winning this game. I think Spags was waiting for right. I think that right now it is time for Willie Gay to take over. All right, now we're going to get to the prediction point of the stream. Last week I actually went 14-2, so I was very proud about that. The only games that I lost were the Vikings game and the Raiders game. Actually, the Raiders came out on Monday night and beat the Saints, so I was very pleased with that. But without further ado, I'm going to welcome Chiefs Palace to the stream, and we will get these Week 3 predictions. What is up, my guy?
What's up, man, guy? What up?
Not much. I've had a pretty eventful stream already, but we got
Where's everyone at?
What happened?
Where's everyone at?
I don't know. It's wait, what was the question again? Sorry, my headphones came off. What'd you just say?
Is URAG joining us today?
Not that I'm aware of. So I think it's just gonna be us for the predictions, but let us know what you guys think about these predictions. I'm still gonna try to add some of the questions in. I'm gonna get to all of them, and I'll probably answer more after the predictions. But let's get to the first game. Oh, I guess I should mention that last night I actually lost. I thought that the Jags would win that game, but
yeah, I picked the Jags too.
Of course they didn't. So I wasn't too happy with that. But before we get into the question or the predictions, let me answer this question. Do you think that Lamar Jackson treating this game as he put it in a presser, like any other game, could blow up in the Ravens' face and give us the win? Yeah. If he doesn't treat this game like the most important game of the season, the Chiefs are going to have a very good chance at winning because I feel like Lamar Jackson is a great running back in a quarterback position, but if he's not taking this game as seriously as the Chiefs, and the Chiefs got a better game plan, I think that they're going to win this game. All right, let's go to the second game of the week because we're both 0-1 to start off the week, losing that Dolphins-Jags game. But all right, let's go to the second game, which is the Houston Texans going to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. I think that the Steelers are just a better team. Deshaun Watson has no one to throw to, so I'm going to give that game to the Steelers, and they're also playing at home. So I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to advance to 3-0.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to pick the Texans, and here's why. I don't think the Steelers are as good as people think they are. Yeah, they have a good defense, but they almost lost to Jeff Driscoll last week Sunday. It was a really close game, and if it wasn't for that sack, I feel like the Broncos would have won that game. Um, I really don't trust the Steelers' offense right now. Um, I don't think Deshaun Watson will go 0-3 because I think this is kind of like even out game. I don't think the Steelers would be 3-0. To be honest with you, I feel like the Texans will win this one in a close game. I can't really see the Texans dropping 3 games in a row. I feel like Deshaun Watson will his team to a win here. I'm in a very close game. So
Your mic is kind of
okay.
messed up a little bit.
Wait,
Just
can you hear me now?
yeah, it's better. That's better.
Okay.
So you got the Texans winning, and I have the Steelers. All right.
Yes, I have the Texans winning in a close game.
The next game, the Cincinnati Bengals go to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. I'm picking the upset. I think that the Bengals are a better team. I have not liked what I've seen from Carson Wentz recently. I think that he's severely overrated. He has not been a very good quarterback this year. He's got like 4 interceptions and 8 sacks through the first 2 weeks. So I think that Joe Burrow and the Bengals are going to walk into Philadelphia and beat this Eagles team. I think that Joe Burrow's got that confidence, got that swagger, and that's why I'm picking them. I think the Bengals will win this game in a close game, 27-21.
I'm going to pick the Eagles. And if the Eagles don't win this game, then I'm probably not going to pick them anymore this season. This is my last chance picking them. I know I picked them last week, but they failed me. I think that they will beat the Bengals at home because the Bengals defense is horrendous. I think Carson Wentz is going to have a good game and prove all his haters wrong. I know he's been struggling this season, but I think this is a game where I think if Doug Peterson wants to save his job and if Carson Wentz wants to save his starting job, I think they have to win this game, and I believe they will win this game. So I have the Eagles beating the Bengals in a very close game at home, and I'm going to go with 27-20.
See what you're doing with the Eagles. I actually learned to not pick the Eagles in week 1. Like I picked the Eagles against the Washington football team. They disappointed me, and I was like, all right, this team is not going to be good. I picked the Rams last week. They ended up winning, so I have no trust in the Eagles. I really don't.
This is my last time I'm going to pick them. They have to beat the Bengals at home. I mean, the Bengals, they're starting. I can't really see the Eagles going 0-3. The Bengals, I see more of the Bengals going 0-3. I know they should have beat the Chargers in week 1. They lost to the Browns week 2, but I just can't really see this Eagles team going 0-3 and losing to a Bengals team who really doesn't have a good defense, and their offense is it's okay, but I mean Joe Burrow is doing well. They can put up some points, but I just don't see them. I can't see the Bengals beating the Eagles at their house. I really can't. So I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles on this one. And if they fail me here, I'm not gonna pick them anymore this season. Simple as that.
Joe Burrow is a baller. I have really liked what I've seen from him. And I think that he's good enough to go into Philadelphia and take a win from the Eagles. But that's another game that we varied on. I have the Bengals winning and you have the Eagles. But on to the next game, the 49ers take on the Giants in New York. I mean, both teams just got destroyed with injuries last week. Saquon went down for the year. Nick Bosa went down for the year as well, both with torn ACLs. So it's unfortunate that the 49ers are pretty much plagued with injuries. I don't know if Jimmy G is going to start this week.
No, he's not.
He's not.
He's not. No.
Really? That's the thing, though. It's the Giants. I think the Giants are the worst. I don't know if they're the worst, but they're a bottom 5 team in the NFL. I can't see them winning this game. I think the 49ers go into New York and take this game from the Giants. If it was normally and they had George Kittle and Jimmy G playing, I think that they would win by a lot more. But since all the injuries, I think that the 49ers will win by a final score of 24-14.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 49ers here. They're still a better team, even with all the injuries, to be honest. I mean, they still have good defense. Yeah, I know they lost Nick Bosa, but they still got really good linebackers, and they still got good corners as well. So I'm going to go with the 49ers here. The Giants, all they had really going was for them was really Saquon. And that was pretty much it. They lost Saquon for the entire year, so I don't know how their offense is going to produce now. But their defense, I was looking on stats, and the Giants' defense has been pretty good so far this year, even a top 10 defense, surprisingly.
Really?
But yeah, seems like their defense is carrying the Giants right now. But I just feel like the 49ers are just a better team. And I think they're going to win in a close game by a final score of 24-20.
Okay. So we both have the Niners winning this game.
Yeah.
Ooh, the next game is going to be one of the best games of the week. The Las Vegas Raiders. I'm still getting used to saying that, but the Raiders go to New England to play the Patriots. To your credit, you predicted the Raiders winning last week, and they did. So I think
knew it was a trap game. I just had it was a trap game. Michael Thomas wasn't playing, and I just felt like the Raiders were going to win their first game in Las Vegas, and I had that feeling, man. I just had that feeling.
And I'm sold on the Raiders. I think that their defense is still a problem, but that offense is very good. I mean, very good. They got Darren Waller, one of the best tight ends in the league, in my opinion. Henry Ruggs. I mean, that offense is stacked, but they're going to New England. The Patriots lost last week in Seattle. I think that they said that the Patriots were like 18-8 coming, or no, maybe it was 32 or something. They are very good coming after a loss. I mean, they don't lose 2 times in a row. So I think that the fact that they're going to be in New England, I'm giving this game to the Patriots, but it's going to be close. I think that the Patriots win this game 31-28.
I know I picked the Raiders last week, but I felt like that game was more of a mirage game because, like, let's be real, the Saints defense wasn't really spectacular last weekend, and you can see a little bit of Drew Brees, like he was getting old. You can see a little bit cracks there. So I think the Raiders are gonna drop back down to earth here. I feel like they're going to struggle against this Patriots defense, and I think the Patriots will win pretty easily with a final score of 17-27. I think Cam Newton is going to have a good game against this Raiders defense, which is still not very good. This Patriots defense will definitely give Derek Carr issues, and I feel like they're going to win pretty easily in Foxborough.
All right, so we both picked the Patriots in that game, and the next matchup is the Tennessee Titans taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Just like you with the Eagles, I really regret picking the Vikings. I thought that by now they would have turned it around, but the Vikings look awful. I mean, they just look bad. So by default, I'm picking the Titans, who don't look great in their own right, but I think that the Titans with Derrick Henry and a defense that isn't great yet, but they are getting better. I think the Titans will win this game by like 10 points, but that's just because I have no faith in Kirk Cousins, and I don't think that he's very good.
This is a trap game for the Titans.
It is.
And it really is. And you know what? I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I can't see Tennessee 3-0. It just doesn't seem right to me. It just doesn't.
That's very
Um,
fair. That's very, very fair.
I think Kirk Cousins is gonna have something to prove this game. I don't think this is more of like a correction game here. It's more of like the game, like the Texans and Pittsburgh Steelers game. I don't see the Steelers going 3-0, and I certainly doesn't see the Titans going 3-0. So I am going to pick the Vikings here. Um, I think that I'm going to get back on track. I think Kirk Cousins is going to have a decent game because the Titans' defense, you got to remember, their defense is not really that good. The Titans almost blew that game to the Jacksonville Jaguars last weekend.
Yeah.
And I don't really trust the Vikings defense as well. I feel like this is going to be a shootout, to be honest. But I think the Vikings will pull one out at the end. So I'm going to go 31-34 Vikings.
Okay, so I picked the Titans. You got the Vikings. I mean, would you say that if the Vikings lost this week, you're done picking them? Like, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, pretty much. If they lose this weekend, I think they should just tank. I mean, I don't really like teams tanking, but if you're 0-3, you're probably not going to make the playoffs. Actually, who knows? Because since it's like there's 7 teams that can go in the playoffs in each conference, so it's not really over, but you're damaging your chances of making the playoffs when you're 0-3.
Yeah, for sure. The next game, the Buccaneers go 2 Mile High to play the Denver Broncos. The Broncos got absolutely.
Did you skip a game? There's more games. There's more 1 o'clock games.
Oh, I see. I don't even have what I just wrote them all down. What is the game you have?
Or do you have Washington, the Washington football team at the Cleveland Browns.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna go with the Browns here. They have offense. I know not the Redskins. The Washington football team. The Washington football team. They have a defense, but I feel like their defense got exposed last weekend. Kyler Murray had a good show on that defense. The Browns, they got back on track against the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think Baker Mayfield is gonna have a good game against this Washington defense. I mean, they don't have it. They don't have an offense. The Washington football team don't have an offense at all, so they're definitely not going to put up points here. So it's probably going to be a score of 13-27 Browns because the Browns have an offense. I know their defense is not that well, but at least they can put up points. So just by that default, I'm going with the Browns.
Yeah, I don't like Baker Mayfield, but I also don't like Dwayne Haskins. And I think that, like you said, this is going to be a battle of the offenses, and the Browns just have a better offense. So I think the Browns are going to win this game. They're in Cleveland. So I think the Browns will win this game like you said, like 27-13 or like 27-14. The Browns should win this game pretty handily. But is the next game you have Rams Bills?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hold on. Okay, the Rams take on the Bills in Buffalo. This is a trap game. I'm going to pick the upset here. I think the Rams are going to go in there and win. The Rams haven't allowed a passing touchdown this year. Jared Goff has looked remarkably good. So I think I'm going to have the Rams win this game in Buffalo. I can't see the Bills 3-0. I just can't.
Well, I can. I'm going to go with the Bills because the Bills, Josh Allen has been very good at home. Very good. Like, really good this season. The Bills' defense, yes, I know they almost blew that game to the Dolphins, but their defense has been very good this season as well. The Rams, on the other hand, they've been really good as well. So you can go either way in this game. But to be honest, I'm probably going to go with the Bills here just because the Rams are on the road. Once again, back-to-back road games are really hard to do in the NFL. So just by that logic, I'm gonna go with the Bills here, but it will not shock me at all if the Rams win this game. But I'm gonna go with a really close game. I'm gonna go 27-30. Bills win.
Like I said, that's a pick 'em in my opinion, but I like the Rams. And why I said I don't see the Bills going 3-0 is because I know Josh Allen's good, but just something about him and something about that team, I'm just not sold. Like you said, they squeaked out a win against the Dolphins. That game was way too close for comfort, and the Rams are a better team. And I think that defense has been a big factor in the last two Bills wins. And what I mean by that is the Dolphins don't have a great defense, and the who they play week 1?
They played the Jets. Actually, they played the Jets. And yeah, I know what you mean. I know the Bills wins. I mean, they played the Jets and they played the Dolphins. They're not world beaters. And you could say, well, the Rams played the Cowboys and the Eagles. I mean, the Cowboys, they beat the Falcons, but the Eagles, they didn't really beat anyone yet. So you could probably say the Rams had better competition, really, than the Bills, but I don't know. I guess you could say you could pick either team, to be honest, but I'm probably just gonna go with the Bills at home.
Yeah, it's a safe bet, but I think the Rams will squeak out a very, very close win, but that would actually make the Rams 3-0. So you picked the Bills, I got the Rams, and is the next game Bears versus Falcons?
Yes.
I think that the Bears are the worst 2-0 team in football. The Falcons lost an absolute heartbreak to the Cowboys, 40-39. Matt Ryan went for 2 and missed it. I don't know why they did that, but they ended up losing because of that missed point. So I don't think that the Bears are going to put up much of a fight. Like I said, they're an overrated 2-0 team. I think the Falcons will win this game in Atlanta 29-16. I don't think that the Bears offense is very good. Mitchell Trubisky's kind of been a fluke recently, and the Falcons have shown that they can put up points, but the question is, can that defense pull it together and not allow a big comeback?
Well, I agree with you here. I am gonna go with the Falcons here. A lot of people are picking the Bears just because they're 2-0, but like, I mean, who have they really beaten? They've been struggling wins, I call it. They barely beat the Lions at home. No, wait, they barely beat the Lions away, and they barely beat the Giants at home. So no, I am not going to pick the Bears here just because they're 2-0 and the Falcons are 0-2. I'm going to go with the Falcons here because they've shown an ability to put up a lot of points against the Seahawks and the Cowboys. But on the other hand, they don't have a good defense as well. So I think that the Bears will put up points in this game, but I ultimately see the Falcons winning this game in a very high scoring game because of the Falcons defense isn't really that good. So I'm going to go 31-34, Falcons win.
Battle of who can lose the game better, pretty much. Yeah, thank you so much, Gary, and thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next week. All right, the next game is, for me at least, is the Panthers versus the Chargers. Man, rest in. No, he didn't die. Poor Tyrod Taylor. I mean, he got his lung punctured by the team doctor.
Oh, did you just get Jets versus Jets versus?
I must have written down mixed up. I did.
I'm looking at ESPN on my phone.
That's fine. Let's do the Panthers versus Chargers first. Panthers, I mean, they lost CMC for the next 6 weeks with an ankle injury. I think that since the Chargers are not starting Tyrod and they're starting Justin Herbert, who looked very good last week, I just think the Chargers are a better team. The Panthers are banged up, just like the Chargers, but the Chargers looked very good under Justin Herbert. They really did. So I think Justin Herbert will go off in this game, and they'll win this game by a final score of 31-20.
I'm going to go with the Chargers here. That game last week really scared me. I mean, I feel like the Chiefs defense wasn't really that impressive last week just because of the change up so quickly. And I feel like that was mainly the reason why he was so successful in the afternoon during that game. And I feel like the Panthers already have film on Justin Herbert. So I feel like this is a game where, all right, we'll really see what he's made out of since people already know what he can do. But I'm gonna go with the Chargers regardless because the Panthers are all banged up, and I feel like Christian McCaffrey was their only offense. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, he'll be competitive in this game, but I ultimately see the Chargers defense, Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa, will destroy the Panthers' offensive line and give them a hard time to have Teddy Bridgewater to throw. So I'm gonna go with the Chargers here. In a close game, I guess, like 17-23.
Yeah, I mean, CMC not being on the field really hurts them. I mean, it really does. So because of that, and I think that Justin Herbert is just a straight baller, that's why I'm taking the Chargers. But is the next game you have Jets and Colts?
Yes.
All right, the Jets go to Indianapolis to play the Colts. Colts looked very good last week, and my faith in them has returned. The Jets aren't good. They got to fire Adam Gase. Sam Darnold has all the talent in the world, but with Adam Gase drawing up plays, I mean, he does not have much of a shot to win this game. Even though the Colts have Phillip Rivers, I really like Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, the receiver. That defense, I mean, good Lord, they stepped up against the Vikings. So I think that the Colts will win this game in a major blowout. I'm thinking like 31-13. Or 34-13. I think that the Colts are a much better team, and they'll show it in this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts here. Until Adam Gase is fired, I'm not picking the Jets to win any game this season. So I'm gonna go with the Colts here. 13-30. Simple.
Yep. Just another blowout for the Jets. But is the next team you have Bucks, Broncos?
Yes.
All right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go 2 Mile High to play the Broncos. You know, the Broncos are banged up. Drew Lock went out with a shoulder injury. They lost Cortland Sutton for the year. Dude, the Broncos are just banged up, plain and simple. The Bucks are healthier. That defense started to play well. Tom Brady starting to look good in a Tampa Bay Buccaneers uniform. I'm picking the Bucks to win this game, but since the Broncos are in Mile High and their defense is good, I think that it'll be closer, but I think the Bucks will win 28-21.
I feel so bad for all those Bronco fans this season, having high expectations with Drew Lock. And now they're 0-2. He's injured for 6 weeks. And it's just tough for them. Why should I care? I'm a Chiefs fan. They're talking mad shit on my page about Drew Lock is going to be better than Patrick Mahomes. Drew Lock is going to be competitive against the Chiefs this year, and he's injured. Feel bad for them, but I really shouldn't. But whatever. Anyways, I expect the Buccaneers to win this game, but it's going to be a close game. I think Jeff Driscoll had a really good game against the Steelers defense, but I think ultimately Tom Brady will win this game 27-21. The Broncos will keep it competitive for the most part, but I think Tampa Bay will pull off at the end.
Yeah, I agree. All right, the next game, the Dallas Cowboys go to Seattle to play the Seahawks. The Seahawks had a great win against the Patriots where they were able to stop Cam Newton on a goal line drive. But the Cowboys somehow came back against the Atlanta Falcons, who choked very hard. But I'm not sold on the Cowboys. I don't like them. I'm not going to lie. I think the Seahawks are the best team in the NFC. So I think the Seahawks will win this game, and convincingly. It's not going to come down to a field goal. I think that the Seahawks win this game at home by 10 points. Russell Wilson is looking like an MVP. DK Metcalf is a bona fide star. I mean, Tyler Lockett. Do they have Tyler Lockett, or who am I thinking of? I'm not quite sure who I'm thinking of.
You're thinking about Tyler Lockett.
Okay, Tyler Lockett, Chris Carson. I mean, that offense is lethal. The defense isn't great, but neither's the Cowboys defense. So I think that the Seahawks win this game by 10 points, 31-21.
Now, if you would put a gun to my head right now and say who the best NFC team is as of right now, it would be the Seattle Seahawks. They are the best NFC team right now. The Cowboys got lucky, extremely lucky last week.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for a bonehead Atlanta Falcons players not knowing to pick the ball up when it's an offside kick, the Cowboys would have lost and they would have been 0-2. Now, I think the Cowboys will keep it close because the Seahawks defense is not the greatest. It's average at best, but I think Russell Wilson is going to have a good game as usual because he's always been having good games this season. And I think the Seahawks will win this game by a final score of 24-34. Russell Wilson's going to have a big day, and they're going to go 3-0.
Yeah, I think that Russell Wilson, if it's not going to be Patrick Mahomes, it's going to be Russell Wilson. He is just playing lights out football. And I don't like the Cowboys. I'm not going to lie. I think that they are overrated.
I like Russell Wilson. I love Russell Wilson. I love watching him.
Yeah, but the Cowboys to me they just have 8-8 written all over them. I know that they have Super Bowl hopes and a lot of people are hyping them up, but with a new coach and Dak Prescott, I cannot see this team showing a lot.
Now, if they beat the Seahawks,
we're gonna have a conversation.
Yes, then I can start talking about the Cowboys if they beat the Seahawks.
Yeah, I just not sold on them. What's up, Chiefs Royal Sporting? Thanks, Cole, for telling me how to do that. I appreciate everybody for coming by. But the next game is the Lions versus the Cardinals. The Lions go to Arizona. Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins might be the best quarterback to wide receiver duo in the NFL. I mean, they've just been lethal this season. The Lions are the Lions. I really shouldn't have to explain it. I think that Kyler Murray and the Cardinals will destroy the Lions at home 44-13. I think that this offense is very good. I think that the Cardinals are the most underrated team in the NFC, and I think that they're a playoff team. I really do. And when they win this week, they will be 3-0.
I mean, I'm going to have the Cardinals winning, but I think the Lions will keep it close. I mean, the Lions are they're not bottom. I mean, they're not bottom feeders, but they're trending that way. They still have a good quarterback in Matthew Stafford, and just solely on that, I think they'll keep it respectable. But ultimately, I see the Cardinals winning this game because Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins are playing very good right now. And I strongly believe that the Cardinals will make the playoffs this year, and I'm going to stick by that. So I'm going to go with this final score of 19-26 Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals are just a better team, and I think that will show. Oh, this is going to be an exciting matchup. The Sunday Night Football game of the week has the Green Bay Packers going to New Orleans to play the Saints. The Packers beat, I believe, the Lions last week in Green Bay. The Saints lost to the Raiders in Las Vegas. And, maybe it's just recency bias, but I think the Packers are the second best team I'd say they're the third best team in the NFC.
Keep in mind that I think the news came out that Devontae Adams will be doubtful to play this Sunday.
The Saints are also out Michael Thomas though. So I think that my thoughts on this game, it's going to be a shootout, but Aaron Rodgers has come out this season with something to prove, and I've really liked what I've seen from him, and I think that the Packers will win this game in a shootout 35-31.
I just feel like the Saints are going to go back to those 8-8 season or 7-9 seasons this year because Drew Brees his arm his arm doesn't have it. His arm doesn't have it anymore, and it's very unfortunate. All these past 4 years, that Saints have blown big opportunities to go to the Super Bowl. If it wasn't for the ref not getting the call, or the PI last year from Kyle Rudolph, or the Marcus Williams missed tackle, it's just been very unfortunate for the Saints these past couple of years playoff wise, and I feel like their time is running out, and I feel like Drew Brees' arm is starting to notice. It was showing last Monday night, and I kind of really do feel bad for the Saints, and because my dad's a Saints fan, and it hurts. Um, but I just think that the Packers are going to win this game, but I just kind of feel bad for the Saints. Their time is running out, and you could see that Drew Brees can't really throw the ball deep anymore. And just solely on that, I think the Packers are going to win this game 31-24.
Yeah. The Packers are just a team that are hot right now. They can put up points. The Saints, they look bad against the Raiders. That defense couldn't stop the Raiders' offense, and I guess the Raiders are good, but the defense is a problem, and I think that the Packers have the ability to score very quickly, and I really like Aaron Rodgers this year. So I think that the Packers will win this game, like I said. But the Monday Night Football game of the week is the Chiefs taking on the Ravens in Baltimore. I've talked about this game all stream long. It's going to be the game of the year, but I cannot see the Chiefs pulling it out. I think that at this point in time, the Chiefs defense has not gelled correctly. They are out some players due to key injuries. The offense hasn't looked great in the past 2 weeks. So I think that the Ravens will win a very, and I mean very close game, 31-28. It'll come down to a field goal. And actually, I think that the last team that gets the ball will win this game. That's how close I think that it will be.
Yeah, I was initially gonna pick the Chiefs, but this game, I've been thinking about this game throughout the whole week, and the more I think about it, the more that this game scares me. And here's why. Our run defense is still a problem, and our run defense has been a problem for years now. Years. It doesn't matter what defensive coordinator we have at this particular moment. We just can't stop the run. I don't know why. And I know Mike Pennell wasn't um I know he wasn't there to start the season these past two games. And our pass defense has been kind of terrible this season from last season. I know that we're a bend don't break defense. I know we only given up 20 points per game so far this season, but I just don't see, and we can't start off slow against the Ravens, and we've been starting off slow these past two games. We're down, we're down 7 to Houston, and then we're down. Or I know we're down like heading into the fourth quarter, 9-17, against the Chargers, and I know the Chargers have a really good defense. They have Bosa and Melvin Ingram on the outside, and they were giving our tackles problems all day, and we had to pull that game out of our ass to win, and we cannot afford to only score 9 points heading into the fourth quarter against the Ravens. It's just we're not going to win that game. By then, it will be a blowout. Um, so the more I think about this game, I just don't see the Chiefs winning this game. I really do want the Chiefs to win,
Oh,
but
of course.
yeah, but it's just it pains me to say this, but I just don't. I can't trust that run defense. I just can't. I just can't trust the run defense. It's not good enough. And the Ravens like to run the ball a lot. And unless if I just can't trust the run defense, bruh. This run defense is just pitiful still, and
Yeah, and no
this
one loves this
this
Chiefs.
defense. The Chiefs defense is a bend but don't break defense, but it's just so frustrating still to see no name running backs. And I'm not saying like David Johnson or Austin Eckler are no names, but they're not world beaters. I mean, we can hold them to 100 yards. They're not like Ezekiel Elliott's or Saquon Barkley. They're just above average running backs, and we're still like giving them like almost 90 yards to 100 yards a game, and I don't like that with the run defense. So what are we going to give like Mark Ingram or Gus Edwards or Lamar Jackson? How many yards are we going to give to them?
Yeah.
So, and I know, and I don't really trust our offensive line right now. Kalikli Osemele had a horrible game last week, and just too many penalties on the offensive line last weekend. It was just so infuriating to watch. It was so frustrating. I know the Ravens don't have any good pass rushers, so it'll probably be easier this week, but at the same time they have a really good secondary. They have Peters, which I still don't understand why we traded away in the first fucking place. And they have Marlon Humphrey, who's really good. They have Jimmy Smith. I know they lost Tavon Young for the season. They have Sean Elliott as a safety, and I forgot the other safety's name as well.
Well, so here's my thing. Like, I understand that I probably shouldn't pick against my team. I'm not rooting against the Chiefs. I'm not. I want them to win this game, but like Cole said, the coin toss is going to be critical. And I think that, like you said, the Chiefs defense has not looked good. The offensive line hasn't looked good. The offense cannot get behind like we've seen. We need them to get off to a lead. And right now, I just don't think that they've put it all together yet. The offense is not anywhere close to being anywhere close to being at their best. And the defense, I mean, they just got injuries and they're not playing at their best either. So I just think that this is a game that we should have no shame in losing. If we lose this game, you know what? You lost to the best team in football, one of the best teams in football. So there's no shame in losing to this game, this Ravens team, when you're on the road, because I think that they can win in the playoffs. But this is just the type of game that the Chiefs would lose and come back strong.
I mean, we're not really favored to win this game anyways. I mean, a lot of people are expecting us to lose. So it's because, I mean, if you look from head to toe, which team is better, a lot of people are going to say the Ravens are a better team right now. Let's be real.
Yeah, and I think that they are. Right now, they are. They look more complete.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I am going to go with the Chiefs 27 and the Ravens 24. No, wait, the Chiefs 27, the Ravens 34.
Yeah, I don't like picking against this team. And like I said a ton of times earlier in this stream, I hope Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs team can prove me wrong. I really would love that, because that would mean the Chiefs go 3-0. But you got to go to Baltimore. Lamar Jackson's out for blood. He's 0-2 against Mahomes. Finally, the Ravens get to play this Chiefs team in Baltimore. And this team, as of right now, is not complete. They're just not. They got to get better. And I really don't understand why they scheduled this game for week 3. This is a type of matchup that would be more entertaining to watch in like week 7 or 8. Because at that point, I mean, both teams are playing at their best. And at that point, the playoff spot would be on the line. I think that whoever wins this game might end up taking the first seed, but it really is too early to tell.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just can't. Like you said, man, we're just not good enough right now. We just have too many injuries.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, it really is, but I'm going to stick with my gut. My gut just tells me the Ravens, unfortunately, but I'm not going to be
I'm not,
surprised if the Chiefs
because
win.
I know I'm going to yell at my screen, stop the run. I'm not going. So if we lose this game, I know you've seen some of my rants. I'm not going to rant. I mean, if we lose, we lose. I mean, there's nothing wrong in losing to one of the best teams in the league.
No. I mean, there will be a problem if we get blown out. I don't think we will, but if we get blown out, we're going to have an interesting conversation. And, I think that this is the type of situation that the Ravens win this game in the regular season and we get payback in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think that Lamar Jackson's not a playoff quarterback. Patrick Mahomes just goes absolutely crazy in the playoffs. And by then, this Chiefs team will be more complete. I think that right now, injuries go against the Chiefs, and just overall lack of time to gel and get ready when there was no preseason or OTAs.
I 100% agree with you. I can't pick the Chiefs to win. I just can't see it. I mean, I would want the Chiefs to win.
My heart tells me to pick the Chiefs because I love the Chiefs, but my gut tells me to pick the Ravens. I think that Chargers game, even though we won, it wasn't encouraging. It just wasn't. I mean, the Chiefs looked very, very bad, and they were able to come back because they got Patrick Mahomes. But like I said in my recap video, once you go up against a team that is better coached and is just better overall, you can't do that. I mean, the Chiefs cannot come back against this Ravens team. I mean, a touchdown is
They can try to, but they won't work.
I mean, a comeback is not a question. I mean, a touchdown deficit's not a lot, but if you go down by like 21 points or 14, I'm not going to close the door, but my optimism is going to go way down.
Yeah. Yes, I know they came back against the Texans, but the Texans' defense is nowhere near the Ravens' defense.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that as well. So, guys, now that we're kind of done with the week's predictions, ask your questions. We'll probably end up wrapping this up in about 20 minutes. That will make it another 2-hour stream. You guys seem to enjoy it. I think I'm going to live stream every Friday night from now on, and Chiefs Palace will be on to give the predictions every week. So I'm glad to have that. But yeah, dude, this Ravens game is going to be incredible. Like, it's going to be a game that will be the best of the year. It just will be. And I think that hopefully the Chiefs can come out on top. But I mean, like we both said, if they don't, they don't. They lost to the best team in the AFC. I don't want to say the best team because that implies that the Chiefs aren't. They lost to one of the best teams in the AFC. There's no shame in that.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, so let's get these questions in, and
but if we get blown out, then I'm ranting because that's just unacceptable.
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy with that either. Not at all. I wouldn't be happy with that. I mean, the Chiefs are just too good of a team to get run off the field. So
I don't think Patrick Mahomes has ever been blown out before.
No. They haven't lost a game by more than 7 points.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned with getting blown out. I mean, I just don't think it's going to happen. This is a close game, and I think it'll come down to the wire. And like we've seen last week and a lot of weeks, Harrison Butker is the second best field goal kicker in the game. I love butt kicker. And behind Justin Tucker, who is ironically on the Ravens, I mean, you got the two best kickers going at it, the two best quarterbacks going at it. You got, actually, I wouldn't say that Lamar is a top 3 quarterback, but that's just me. You got the very good quarterbacks going at it. The Ravens defense going against this Chiefs offense. I mean, like I said earlier in this stream, this game has a ton of headlines, and it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening.
But to be honest, though, I would have to give, we're doing like matchups. So you got the Chiefs defense versus the Ravens offense. So I'm leaning towards the Ravens offense for that one. And you got the Chiefs offense versus the Ravens defense. That's the real battle that everyone's looking at.
For sure. for sure. And the Chiefs offense should win that battle. Special teams, I think we got them beat. But I think that it will come down to whether we play Willie Gay. If Willie Gay's in there, I'm going to feel a lot better about stopping the run.
I swear to fucking God, if they play Hitchens or someone else, I already know we're going to lose because I just don't trust Anthony Hitchens on the field. He's a liability. He really is.
Well, see, I think that they're going to. I think that they're going to play. I think they're going to play Hitchens, but the question is, are they going to play Neiman? If Neiman goes over Gay, we're going to have a problem. And I think that you got to play the young kid. I know that he's inexperienced, but this is the best time to get experience because he's going to be a starting linebacker at some point this year. Might as well put him in a game that we could really use him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if they don't put him in, then why'd you draft him? Yeah, I know you're trying to ease him in the lineup, but you got to see what he got against the best team in the league. You already know what you're getting with Ben Neiman, and Hitchens, and Dorial Daniel. So you already know what you're getting from those guys, and it's not good by any means. So might as well just put in Willie Gay to see what you got. I love Ladarius Sneed. He's really good, very good. I know he's a rookie.
He's just a baller, dude. I love Ladarius Sneed. He's got 2 interceptions in 2 weeks as a pro. Couldn't get any better than that. Let's see. Jason Cox asks, any news on Charvarius Ward coming back from his injury this week? I haven't looked at the injury report. I don't think he's going to play. I haven't heard anything about him playing. He's still suffering that fractured hand. But Sammy Watkins, I guess, is going to play because they had him practice today. So I think that there is a chance that Sammy Watkins plays after getting absolutely crushed on the head. I think that was a dirty late hit. And luckily he's okay because Sammy Watkins is a very injury-prone type of guy, so it's very.
But we're not paying him that much anyways. So
yeah, but the way that he gets injured, I'm just glad that this did not affect him in a major way. I think that he will be back sooner rather than later, and with his injury history, I'll take it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. All right, let's get some of these questions. He was limited this week. He might play with the cast. I think that this is going to be the type of situation that they did with Kendall Fuller a few years ago. If you remember, he broke his hand against the Chargers, I believe, and then he played a few weeks later in Seattle, but he was on a snap count. He didn't play that much. And I understand that guys in the secondary can still play regardless of injuries to their hands, but I don't think they're going to rush him back. I really don't. I think that they're just going to keep him out and hope that Deshaun Watson can not carve up the secondary. If Lamar Jackson...
You mean Deshaun Watson? You mean Lamar Jackson?
Did I say Deshaun?
Yeah, you said Deshaun. You mean Lamar.
Yeah, if Lamar carves up the secondary, dude, I'm going to lose it. He should not. There's no excuse for that.
Wasn't this defense better last year? I don't know why it's struggling this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Kansas City Chiefs. Do you think that Marcus Kemp is going to play?
No.
Marcus Kemp doesn't get any snap time. So I highly doubt it. I do not think that that's going to happen. Yeah, he's too far down on the depth chart. Cole says Ward was limited today. I just looked at the injury report. I don't think it's smart to play him. I really don't. Just keep him out another week. Make sure that hand gets a little bit more time to heal up. I think that Snead's a good option. And you probably want to go with speed. I mean, Rashad Fenton is a very speedy cornerback. So I say you got to keep him in there as well, but give Ward a little bit more time. Let's see. What are your score predictions? I said it was going to be like 31-28. I could see it being the late 20s or possibly even or late 30s. I don't really know. It's going to be a very good game, though. Yeah, what do you think, Chiefs Palace?
I think it's gonna be 31-34.
Yeah.
Ravens.
Yeah. Let's see. Is Willie Gay playing because of Alex Okafor? Willie Gay is a linebacker and Alex Okafor is a lineman. So it wouldn't have anything to do with that. Alex Okafor is also out with a hamstring injury, so he's not playing. But Willie Gay has to start over Ben Neiman. I don't know why they're starting Neiman at all. I don't understand. Let's see. All right, let's get these questions in and we will wrap it up. An hour and 50-minute long stream. That is quite a while, but it sounds like you guys are really enjoying it, so I will continue to do that. But let's get these questions in to wrap it up. Before you guys get your questions in, do you want to plug where the people can find you, Chiefs Palace?
Yeah. So my Instagram is Chiefs Palace, the same as my username right here. So that's where you can find me on Instagram. I post daily. I post news. I post game days and final scores. It's just like I don't do YouTube anymore, so I just go on Instagram and post all my information there about the Chiefs. And I have 3K followers. I used to have 10K, but I made a mistake and sold my account. But now I have 3K now, so I'm building my page up again. So.
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram at KC_sports report. As you can see the banner underneath, that's where you can find me on Instagram. And as always, I'll be here every week to give you the Chiefs news, updates, and recapping all the games. You guys really like to see me recap the games, so I will continue to do that as always. And yeah, we will have a very interesting recap after Monday's game against the Ravens. Jason asks, will Clyde Edwards-Helaire be more effective on the ground or in the screen game? It's definitely going to be in the screen game. I don't think that they're going to run the ball as much. Even though the Ravens defense can't really stop the run, I don't think that this is a time to I don't think this is any time to see if Clyde can break out. I really don't. I think that you let Clyde get more receptions, and hopefully that will kind of break him out of his shell and he can become more of an active part of the passing game. So yeah, I think that I will go ahead and wrap up this stream. I appreciate every one of you guys for coming out. Pretty successful. So again, I will be streaming every Friday night to preview the upcoming game, and I will be here all season long. So if you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 4,000 subs by the end of the year, and I definitely think that we can do it. So like this video on your way out, and I really appreciate all of you spending your Friday night with me. So I will see you Monday night after the Chiefs and Ravens game on Monday Night Football. Have a great rest of your Friday night.